I just did a red one. I just did one red one. Just red. Could you have me come in like the things that you do? Like when you're on live, you're like, how about we have little Sonny come in?
Yeah, I'm just live, so like people will come in here and ask questions, and you can read the questions to me.
Okay.
What up, Jag?
Welcome to chat. Remember to guard your privacy and Abed your
When they're talking, the chat will flood up right here, and you can read them, and you can say what's up to them.
Yo, what's up, brother? They said, yo, what's up, brother? Hi. I'm just waiting for my dad, but he's in the living room probably washing his plants. I'm just gonna look at the chat, okay? Yeah. Dun, dun. Yeah, I am having fun with my dad. Thank you. They're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am having fun with my dad.
So, boys, yeah, we're just, last night, the live, you guys didn't let me build my collection out at all. So I'm building my collection out now, and I'm playing some music. And if anyone has questions, feel free to ask. But for the most part, I'm just going to be getting my collection straightened out. So, yeah, it's going to be a little less interactive today, but, you know, just going live. Dang, for some reason that feels so like, it feels so tiny, my screen. Get some music going. Let's see. See if I can put some music on for y'all. What up, Shamil? Good to see you, buddy.
I heard that.
How y'all doing, man? Yeah, listen, guys, we're still doing Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But it's gonna be more of a silent live right now. Miles, get off of that. It's gonna be more of a silent live. So I'll still be answering questions here and there, but I'll be building up my collection and just kind of checking the chat periodically. Probably gonna pick up that Mont Blanc Presence. Yeah, honestly, Jag, bro. I mean, if this is helpful for you at all, if it's helpful for you at all to know what this smells like, this smells exactly how the juice looks. It is way bluer than that, yeah. So white florals, a cooling mint touch, heliotrope. It's like stepping out of a Bugatti, bro. It's like stepping out of a Bugatti, all white Bugatti in the wintertime. No synthetics at all, just straight heat. You won't have much in your collection that smells like this. What's up, dude? Got our Encre Noirs here. You know, our trios. I'm almost out of a la extreme juice. We actually got a fragrance haul coming in tonight, so I'll go live tonight and share those fragrances with y'all. Which
Could you put on classic?
this song might be some heat. Yeah, that's fire.
I wanted you to put classic witch on.
No.
Why?
So one of the things that like immediately made me enjoy my collection better is I was going all square, you know, just front like on this axis, but so I went square on the top, centered the front bottle, and then angled all these. So went to a side profile angle, which I'm gonna make these angle in as well. And then I'm gonna angle these on the side when I push this back and over here. And then down here, we're just gonna go straight square. But I've got a lot of fragrances I gotta account for. Miles, why aren't you coloring anymore?
I don't know.
Can I point this down more?
I like this.
Probably gonna pick up the Mont Blanc. Yeah. Sounds good. Wish I could hang out longer, but got some mechanic repairs. Hey, listen, man, I get it. I'm just going live to do some Q&A with people, and so you guys can see my final setup when it's done. What made you start collecting more and more fragrances? I love fragrances, man. I love fragrances.
You too.
It's there's no real rhyme or reason. It's like, you know, like you pick up a basketball and you shoot the ball in the hoop and you go, gosh, I just love that feeling when I shoot the ball and it goes in the hoop. Same thing with fragrance. I love that feeling when there's a fragrance that I just enjoy smelling, and then when I wear it, it uplifts my day. And so I'm a very, how do I say it? I'm a multifaceted person, so I need a lot of different fragrances to fit the various occasions and moods that I'm in. What time are you going live tonight? I'm aiming for 7 p.m. Pacific. 7 p.m. Pacific. At the very latest, 8 p.m. Pacific, but I'm shooting for 7 p.m. Pacific time. Now, do I have a stem fragrance that's as tall? I do. Okay. Okay, there we go. Do I have any taller? My off and on 9 p.m. can go in the back? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. Beautiful. What would you consider a good fresh fragrance? You have a ton of stuff to think about when you think about fresh fragrances. You have so you have fresh floral, fresh linen, fresh citrus, fresh fruity, fresh aquatic, fresh green. So when I think about building my fragrance collection for freshness, I think about it in those categories. What is a fresh linen fragrance? Something that feels like it just came out of the laundry. What is a fresh floral fragrance? A fragrance that's soft, slightly sweet, sometimes powdery and clean fresh. Soapy fresh. What smells like I just got out of the shower? Fresh green. What smells like a nice, airy, clean fragrance I would smell out in nature? Aquatic, you know, and so on. Fresh fruity, fresh citrus. Those are the different types of freshness I like to explore. And it changes based off of occasion. So a good out of the shower fragrance is going to be Encre Noir a la Extreme. Grapefruit, aquatics, slight earthy greenness. Something like Louis Vuitton Meteor is really nice, fresh floral. Something like Imagination or Sahib Intense is going to be fresh, aquatic, fruity. Fresh, clean, aquatic, marine aquatic, more like a mineral aquatic, is Sacrat, which is more like Acqua di Gio. Fresh, soapy, it's going to be something like Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. Soapy, clean, slightly earthy, touch of grapefruit. And then you can kind of get fragrances that combine. So for instance, Tom Ford kind of combines fresh green and fresh grapefruit. So when those two come together, you get something earthy, mature, little bit of fruit, but not fruit like Imagination, where it's just very sweet and citrusy. This is a more photorealistic, juicy grapefruit that's very clean and very green. So it's cool to isolate those, and it's cool to blend those ideas when picking a fresh fragrance. You know, a linen fragrance might be something like Banana Republic's 90 Pure White. That smells like a dryer sheet, you know? So there's different occasions for each. What are the most unique blue fragrances in my collection? Probably Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum, which is a combination of Dior Homme Intense and a blue vibe. Probably something like Carolina Herrera Cobalt, Bad Boy Cobalt Parfum. This is a combination of Bleu de Chanel and Sauvage Elixir. So it's a blue fragrance with Sauvage vibes. This is really nice. Kind of like a spicy, sweet, but then it's got all the charm of Sauvage. That's a really nice blue fragrance. Club de Nuit Iconic, obviously, which is Bleu de Chanel EDP. Yeah, those are a couple. I wouldn't really classify this as a blue fragrance, but actually, no, this is a blue fragrance. Elysium. It's blue earthy citrus. Really nice Elysium clone. FOMO Fragheads Asylum. This is somewhat blue, but it's more along the lines of Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is tropical blue. You know, coconut, vanilla, slight floral touches. That's a beautiful blue as well. Tropical blue, I would call that. You know, Versace Eros EDT. I would consider that a moderately blue fragrance. Is Liam Gray worth it? Seen a lot of hype. I'm going to be honest with you. Liam Gray is a really great fragrance. It's really close to Gris Charnel by BDK. I like it more as a layering fragrance. I layer Liam Gray with Oud Wood from Tom Ford or Woody Oud from Maison Alhambra just to mineralize it, because for people who haven't smelled Liam Gray, it is extremely sweet. Not quite Jean Paul Gaultier sweet, but probably like a 6 to 7 out of 10 in terms of sweet power. So I like to earthy it up a little bit to make it more masculine rather than like feminine leaning unisex. It takes it over to unisex masculine. Put Oud Wood under Liam Gray and it turns it into a whole different fragrance. I don't really care for the whole bubblegummy thing that designers got going on me either. I'm not a big fan of bubblegums. Vetiver base reminds me of Polo, which I associated with cheap low-end smell. I don't know. Vetiver is rarely categorized as cheap. Almost never. Every niche fragrance you know of has vetiver in it. And it has vetiver in it because it brings earthiness in the same way that oak moss brings highly sophisticated earthiness, because oak moss is an accord that not a lot of people smell on a daily basis. So it automatically makes a fragrance smell more rare because it has elements in it that people aren't familiar with. Same thing with vetiver. There are cheap fragrances with vetiver in it, but it always makes a cheap fragrance smell less cheap than it would without vetiver. So things like Coach for Men, Coach Platinum, Gio Armani, anything from Lalique, Elysium. These fragrances all have vetiver that completely transforms the fragrance. Now, vetiver can be rendered in different ways, though. So vetiver does not make everything smell the same. Vetiver can smell black and inky. Vetiver can smell soapy. Vetiver can smell woody. Vetiver can smell soapy, inky, clean, and green. Those are the different variations. Scent of the day, Stronger With You EDT. Very nice, Micah. Odyssey just arrived, bro. It's brilliant. Bought Hawas Ice today. Hawas Ice is good. Glad you like that Odyssey Black. Yo, man, I know these questions suck, but I have YSLY, EDP, Aqua de Gio, Profumo, Blue de Chanel, Prada Black, Dior Elixir, JPG, Lamal Elixir. Any designers you'd recommend me to add? Yes. Givenchy, Gentleman Reserve Privé. Every time I smell it in the air, I think of Polo Blue or Polo 67. Okay, for sure. Kind of ruined Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme. Reminds me of Polo Ralph Club. Gentleman Society is one of the older Givenchy fragrances. That line is somewhat more classical. So if you mess with Givenchy, you kind of have to mess with Reserve Privé, Gentleman Reserve Original EDP, stuff like that to really have a modern Givenchy fragrance. What scent has nostalgic meaning to you? This fragrance right here. This is Mancera Cedrat Boisé before it was before it was Cedrat Boisé. There was Marc Jacobs original EDT. This juice right here for me is over 30 years old. Maybe 25 years old. We're in 2025. I was rocking this in the very early 2000s. So this juice is super nostalgic to me. Versace Dreamer is very nostalgic to me. I have an original, the Dreamer Versace fragrance that is also like 25 years old. And probably Aqua de Gio Eau de Toilette is nostalgic to me as well.
colors. It looks so cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Look.
I noticed some fragrances also have a stale, scratchy smell like Azzaro, Tomorrow, and 1 Million Royal. I've never been able to pinpoint that exact note. If you're interested at all at 1 million, I would start with 1 Million Lucky and move on from there. If you're messing with Azzaro, I would mess with Azzaro Most Wanted Parfum or Azzaro Most Wanted EDT. What does Reserve Privé smell like in your opinion? It smells like Tom Ford Noir Extreme or Spice Bomb Extreme with iris. It's vanilla, it's cinnamon, it's spices with a touch of iris. So soft, powdery, floral component with the spices and the vanilla. It's got a holiday-esque feel, but it's a little bit more dressed up to be a date night fragrance. I notice in a lot of designer fragrances as well, there are the two I currently have samples of. Could it be the amber or cedar or vetiver? Stale, scratchy smell. Amber should not smell scratchy. Amber should smell warm and sweet. Cedar can have a woody bite, like a bitter woody bite. Vetiver can also have a bitter, earthy bite, but not always.
Dad, look.
Nice, dude.
And then I have the first one.
Yeah, that looks really good. They both look really good.
Yeah. I really like this one.
Yeah, that one looks good too.
Yeah. But
Really good job.
Now I'm gonna. Can I show them?
Yeah, you can show them.
Okay. That and this one. Those are the two that I really like. And I just did those today. And I might do this today. But I'm just going to play Roblox right now. Bye. I might play with you.
What do you mean you might play with them?
I'm sorry. I might show you guys another paper of my book. Thank you. Yeah, I do. My dad said I do a good job too.
Good. Malik said,
See?
keep up the good work.
I know.
Thanks, Malik. It could also be musk.
Good job.
Musk doesn't really have scratchy bite. In fact, I have a purely musk fragrance coming in today from, I forget the name of the house, maybe Fragrance World, but it's a clone of Initio's Musk Therapy, and that musk doesn't smell that way. There could be an accord that you don't like. I highly recommend, let me look.
Dad, where's your iPad?
I'm not sure.
I thought you put it on the charger.
So Fendi, if I were you, buddy, I would get
Oh, it's right there.
I would get an essential oils pack. If you go on Amazon and you type in 25 piece or 40 piece or 50 piece essential oils pack, you can get and a small vial of individual accords. So you can get vetiver, ylang-ylang, rosemary, cedar, musk. You can get all those notes on a singular oil by themselves. So it'll be like 25 different kinds. You can just go through them and see what accords you're really drawn to. And then like say you really like iris. Well, then you can go to Fragrantica and search iris-based fragrances, or you can put different notes together. Say, I like iris, green, and woody, and it'll show you all the fragrances that have those notes within them, and you can start narrowing down fragrances you might be interested in. Polo 67 has a stale vibe, doesn't smell like sparkly effervescence like how some other fragrances pop off skin. Hey, listen, man, some fragrances you're going to like, some fragrances you're not going to like. That's just the game of life, man. That's why you should always test fragrances in the store. Neiman Marcus, Sephora, Ulta Beauty, essential oils kit, like I was saying, and decant. It's really important in fragrance that you understand what accords you gravitate towards, so that you make good decisions even when you're blind buying. What are your top 3 must-have spring clones? In my collection right now, spring clones. I mean, I could name several of them. Latafa Sakrat, Sahib Intense, Très Nuit. I don't have a lot of clones when it comes to springtime. Afro Leather by Maison Alhambra. Everything else I have is designer. So Mancera Vetiver Sensual, Lalique Ecus, Eros EDT, Mont Blanc Presence, stuff like that. Halloween Man, purple bottle. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to my collection. Love y'all. I'll be on tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific. Until next time, y'all be blessed. If you have any questions I didn't answer, put them in the comment section of this live, and I will answer them within the hour. Love y'all, man. Have a good day.